Imagine a world where the horizon is a seamless blend of white and blue, where the land and sky merge in a breathtaking display of purity and cold. Here in the farthest reaches of the southern hemisphere lies Antarctica, a continent shrouded in ice, mystery and silence. The landscape is a masterpiece of extremes. Antarctica is the coldest, driest and highest continent on Earth, a place where temperatures can plunge to unimaginable lows, and the air itself is stripped of nearly all moisture. The ground is hidden beneath a vast unbroken expanse of ice, stretching for thousands of kilometres in every direction, forming a frozen desert that dwarfs all others. The ice is not a mere surface layer, but a monumental shield, a dome of ancient snow compacted over millions of years. In places, this ice sheet towers more than 4 kilometres thick, pressing down with such force that it has sculpted the very bedrock below, pushing valleys and basins deep beneath sea level. Rivers of ice, glaciers, move with glacial patience, inching their way toward the coast, carving deep valleys and fjords, shaping the land in slow, relentless motion. These glaciers feed into colossal ice shelves, floating platforms that extend over the Southern Ocean, some as vast as entire countries, their edges forming towering cliffs of ice that carve into the sea, birthing icebergs that drift silently into the abyss. Above, the sky is a piercing crystalline blue, so clear and intense it seems almost otherworldly. The sun, when it appears, casts a dazzling brilliance across the snow, transforming the landscape into a blinding canvas of light. During the endless days of the polar summer, the sun circles the horizon, never setting, bathing the ice in perpetual daylight and painting the sky with subtle hues of gold and pink. In winter, the opposite is true. Darkness descends for months at a time, broken only by the cold gleam of the moon and the shimmering dance of the aurora australis. Curtains of green, purple and red light ripple across the sky, illuminating the frozen world below in a silent, ethereal spectacle. The air is so cold that it can freeze moisture instantly, transforming breath into crystals and sculpting the snow into intricate patterns. Winds known as katabatic winds roar down from the high polar plateau, reaching incredible speeds, scouring the surface and shaping the snow into sharp, wind-carved ridges called sastrugi. These winds are relentless, their howls echoing across the emptiness, polishing the ice and driving snow in swirling, ghostly veils. The silence here is profound, broken only by the distant groan and crack of shifting ice. The land feels ancient and powerful, a realm untouched by time, indifferent to the fleeting changes of the world beyond. The ice groans and shifts, crevasses open and close, and deep within the heart of the continent, secrets are locked away, preserved in the frozen depths for millennia. Beneath the ice, vast reservoirs of fresh water are entombed, holding nearly 90% of the planet's fresh water in a frozen embrace. The sheer weight of this ice presses down on the land, creating depressions and hidden lakes, some of which have remained isolated for millions of years, untouched by sunlight or the outside world. The surface appears barren, a lifeless expanse of snow and ice stretching to the horizon. Yet this emptiness is deceptive. The environment is in constant motion. Ice sheets shift, glaciers flow, and the landscape is ever-changing, shaped by the forces of wind, temperature and time. The visual spectacle of Antarctica is unparalleled. Sunlight glitters on the snow, creating a dazzling array of reflections and sparkles. At dusk, the sky can ignite in a blaze of colour, casting long shadows across the ice and painting the world in shades of blue, violet and gold. In the heart of winter, the darkness is complete, yet the sky comes alive with the aurora australis, a celestial ballet of light that dances above the frozen land. The stars shine with a clarity found nowhere else on Earth, and the moon casts a pale, ghostly glow over the endless white. Antarctica is a kingdom of ice and sky, a place of extremes and contrasts, where silence reigns and the forces of nature are on full display. It is a world that guards its secrets fiercely, a realm of unimaginable beauty and power, untouched and unyielding at the bottom of the world. The vast frozen expanse of Antarctica's surface tells only half the story. Beneath this endless white desert, a world of astonishing complexity and mystery lies hidden, untouched by sunlight and unseen by any living creature for millennia. The surface is a magnificent curtain, concealing a realm as intricate and enigmatic as the landscape above. Here the ice is not merely a barrier, but a gateway to a hidden universe. Beneath the massive floating ice shelves, where sunlight has not reached for thousands, sometimes millions of years, lies a realm of perpetual twilight and deep darkness. Here the ice thickens to unimaginable depths, pressing down on the world below with the weight of ages. This is the subglacial environment, a frontier of shadow and silence. Beneath the ice, hidden mountain ranges rise and fall, their peaks and valleys entombed in darkness, sculpted by the slow, relentless movement of glaciers over eons. For centuries, the secrets of these ancient ice layers remained locked away, their stories untold. Each layer is a time capsule, preserving traces of ancient atmospheres, volcanic eruptions, and even cosmic dust from distant worlds. Deep within the frigid waters, sealed beneath kilometers of solid ice, the question lingers, could life exist here, in such an extreme and isolated place? If so, what kind of life could possibly endure the crushing pressure, the utter darkness, and the near-freezing temperatures? The very idea of a hidden world beneath the ice has long captured the imagination. For generations, the subglacial landscape remained a blank space on the map, a place of pure speculation and wonder. This hidden world is not a static, unchanging void. Beneath the ice, rivers of liquid water flow, carving channels and reshaping the landscape in slow, silent motion. It is a dynamic system of channels, caverns and vast liquid lakes, some as large as entire cities, hidden beneath the crushing weight of the ice. Today we know that there are hundreds of subglacial lakes under the Antarctic ice sheet, some of which have been cut off from the outside world for millions of years. These lakes are isolated, ancient and mysterious, each one a world unto itself. Lake Vostok, one of the largest, is a vast body of fresh water buried nearly 4 kilometers beneath the ice. Its waters have remained untouched for at least 15 million years, sealed away from the world above. The pressure here is immense, and the conditions are unlike anywhere else on Earth. Temperatures hover just below freezing, and the weight of the ice above creates an environment of extraordinary extremes. These isolated environments could be home to unique ecosystems, perhaps even microbial life forms that have evolved in complete isolation. If life exists here, it may offer us a glimpse into how life might survive on other planets or moons, where conditions are equally harsh and remote. The mystery deepens when we consider the ocean that flows beneath the floating ice shelves. Here, currents move slowly in the darkness, carrying nutrients and perhaps even the building blocks of life from the open sea into the hidden cavities beneath the ice. These are not stagnant pools, but are connected to the greater Southern Ocean by a labyrinth of channels and tunnels, forming a vast hidden network beneath the ice. In this pitch-black world, currents move with glacial slowness, carrying nutrients and perhaps even life from the open sea into the deep, silent cavities beneath the ice. The sheer darkness and crushing pressure would seem to make life impossible. Yet the possibility remains. Could complex organisms survive and even thrive here in a world without sunlight? The thought of a hidden ecosystem functioning without light and in near-freezing temperatures is a tantalizing prospect. If life can exist here, it may be unlike anything we have ever known. Such an ecosystem would challenge our fundamental understanding of where life can exist and what it needs to flourish, pushing the boundaries of biological possibility. The possibilities are as vast as the ice itself, expanding our sense of what is possible in the universe. For so long, this sub-ice world was a place of pure speculation, a blank space on our map of the natural world. Its mysteries remain, waiting in the darkness, untouched and unspoiled. It is a frontier as remote and inaccessible as the surface of Mars, and perhaps just as important for understanding the potential for life beyond Earth. The challenges of reaching this hidden world are immense. The ice above is thick, ancient and unyielding, preserving the secrets of the deep in perfect isolation. For now, the pristine environment below remains undisturbed, its mysteries locked away beneath kilometers of ancient ice. The ice continues to accumulate layer upon layer, preserving the past and sealing away the unknown. Each year the story grows deeper, the secrets more profound. Beneath it all, the hidden mountain ranges and ancient valleys wait in silence, their shapes unchanged for millions of years, their stories untold. The veiled frontier calls out in silence, its mysteries waiting patiently in the darkness, untouched by time, and hidden from the world above. Beneath Antarctica's thick, impenetrable ice, a world flourishes in utter darkness and cold, a world that defies all expectations. When the first glimpses of this hidden realm were revealed, the sheer abundance and diversity of life forms astonished even the most seasoned scientists. Far from being a lifeless expanse, the Antarctic seafloor is alive with a dazzling array of organisms. This is a secret Eden, where life has carved out a niche in the most unlikely of places. The ecosystem here is not only vibrant, but also surprisingly complex, with countless species interacting in ways that are only beginning to be understood. In the perpetual night, a remarkable cast of animals thrives. Many of these creatures are entirely new to science, their forms and behaviors unlike anything seen elsewhere on Earth. Some are so alien in appearance that they seem to belong to another world. Sponges, some of which may be centuries old, dominate the landscape. Their bodies twist into bizarre and beautiful shapes, forming natural sculptures on the seafloor. These ancient beings filter the icy water for food, their slow, patient existence a testament to survival in extreme conditions. Fields of sea anemones, their delicate tentacles swaying in the gentle currents, create a living tapestry across the ocean floor. Each anemone is a master of patience, waiting for the faintest trace of food to drift by. Bryozoans, tiny colonial animals, weave intricate moss-like colonies on rocks and other hard surfaces. These structures provide shelter and habitat for countless smaller organisms, forming the foundation of a miniature metropolis beneath the ice. In this world of perpetual darkness, life has adapted in extraordinary ways. The absence of sunlight means that the entire food web is built on different principles than those found in sunlit seas. Instead of drawing energy from the sun, this ecosystem is powered by a slow, constant rain of organic particles, tiny fragments of dead plankton and other detritus that drift down from the waters above. This marine snow is the lifeblood of the Antarctic depths. Filter-feeding animals, such as sponges and anemones, capture these precious particles from the water, extracting every possible nutrient. Their bodies are marvels of efficiency, designed to make the most of the meagre resources available. Life here moves at a glacial pace. Every morsel of energy is precious, and nothing is wasted. Animals grow slowly, some living for decades or even centuries, their lives measured in the slow rhythm of the Antarctic deep. The discovery of such a thriving community in these harsh conditions has revolutionized our understanding of what is possible in the absence of sunlight. The Antarctic depths are not barren, but bursting with life. The diversity of life here is astonishing. From the tiniest microbes to the largest invertebrates, each species has evolved unique adaptations to survive in the cold, dark and isolated world beneath the ice. Starfish and brittle stars roam the seafloor, their flexible arms probing the sediment for food. Some species have developed bioluminescence, glowing faintly in the darkness to attract prey or communicate with one another. Among the most remarkable inhabitants are the icefish, ghostly pale creatures that glide silently through the frigid water. Unlike any other vertebrates, they lack red blood cells and hemoglobin, absorbing oxygen directly through their skin. This adaptation allows them to survive in water so cold it would freeze the blood of most other animals. Giant sea spiders, with their impossibly long, spindly legs, move gracefully across the seafloor. Their bodies are adapted to the cold, with slow metabolisms and specialized circulatory systems that allow them to thrive where few others can. In the water column, vast swarms of krill drift and pulse as one. These tiny shrimp-like crustaceans are the foundation of the Antarctic food web, supporting countless other species with their abundance. Even more astonishing are the stationary filter feeders, sponges, barnacles and other creatures found clinging to isolated boulders hundreds of kilometers from the open ocean. Their presence here, far from any obvious food source, hints at hidden currents and unknown processes that sustain life in the most remote corners of the Antarctic deep. The origins and survival strategies of these enigmatic life forms remain a profound mystery. Some may rely on chemosynthesis, drawing energy from chemical reactions in the sea floor, while others may be sustained by ancient slow-moving currents that deliver nutrients from afar. This hidden Eden is not merely a collection of curiosities, but a fully functioning ecosystem that has evolved in isolation for millennia. From the smallest microbe to the largest invertebrate, every organism plays a role in the intricate web of life beneath the Antarctic ice. Here, in the coldest, darkest reaches of our planet, life endures, adaptable, resilient, and endlessly surprising. Beneath the thick, unyielding ice of Antarctica, life persists in a world that seems almost designed to extinguish it. Here the water is so cold it hovers just below the freezing point of pure water, at around -2 degrees Celsius. For most forms of life, this would be a death sentence. The cold is relentless, seeping into every cell, threatening to freeze blood and tissues solid. Yet, against all odds, a remarkable array of creatures not only endures these conditions, they flourish. The Antarctic marine environment is a crucible of extremes. The darkness is nearly perpetual, especially during the long polar winter, when the sun disappears for months at a time. The pressure in the deep ocean is immense, crushing and unyielding, while the scarcity of food means that every calorie must be carefully conserved. In this world, survival is not just about endurance, but about ingenious adaptation. The first and perhaps most critical challenge is the cold. Most fish would freeze solid in these waters, but Antarctic species have evolved extraordinary biological defences. Many possess natural antifreeze proteins and glycoproteins circulating in their bloodstreams. These molecules are marvels of evolution, binding to tiny ice crystals and preventing them from growing, much like the antifreeze in a car's radiator. This adaptation allows the fish to remain active, their blood flowing freely even as the water around them is cold enough to freeze. The story of the Antarctic icefish is especially astonishing. These fish have transparent blood, lacking the hemoglobin that most vertebrates rely on to transport oxygen. Instead, they absorb oxygen directly from the cold, oxygen-rich water, a feat made possible by the frigid temperatures and their slow metabolisms. Their bodies are living testaments to the power of evolutionary innovation, with every cell and organ fine-tuned for survival in the coldest seas on Earth. But the cold is only one of many challenges. Food is scarce and unpredictable. In this environment, energy conservation is paramount. Many Antarctic creatures have adopted a slow pace of life. Giant sponges, for example, grow at a glacial rate, some living for hundreds or even thousands of years. Fish and invertebrates move deliberately, minimizing energy expenditure. Their metabolisms are among the slowest in the animal kingdom, allowing them to survive long stretches without food, waiting patiently in the darkness for the next meal to drift by. The deep Antarctic Ocean is a realm of perpetual night. Here, light never penetrates, and the pressure is crushing. Many animals have lost their pigmentation, appearing ghostly white or even translucent, as camouflage is unnecessary in a world without light. Instead, they have developed other senses to navigate and hunt. Enlarged eyes, sensitive to the faintest glimmer, help some species detect movement. Others rely on long antennae or feelers to sense vibrations, or an acute sense of smell to locate organic matter in the water. Some creatures, like the Antarctic toothfish, have become apex predators in these icy depths, perfectly adapted to the cold and scarcity. Others, like the ancient sponges and slow-moving invertebrates, are masters of patience, enduring the long Antarctic night with minimal energy. Every organism here is a specialist, honed by millions of years of evolution to survive in a world of extremes. Their bodies are living blueprints of adaptation, antifreeze in their blood, slow metabolisms, heightened senses, and strategies for enduring darkness and pressure that would destroy most life. The Antarctic ecosystem is a testament to the resilience and creativity of life. In the face of relentless cold, crushing pressure, and perpetual darkness, these creatures have found ways not just to survive, but to thrive. They are the true masters of the cold, living proof that even in the harshest corners of our planet, life finds a way. Exploring the world beneath Antarctica's ice is, without question, one of the most formidable scientific undertakings of the modern era. The continent's vast, frozen expanse conceals a hidden world, locked away beneath a shield of ice that can reach several kilometers in thickness. In this remote and inhospitable environment, direct human presence is impossible, so the quest to uncover its secrets has driven the development of a remarkable arsenal of advanced, autonomous technologies. At the heart of this technological revolution are fleets of autonomous vehicles, both on the surface and beneath the ice. These robotic explorers are designed to withstand the extreme cold, relentless winds and crushing pressures of Antarctica, operating tirelessly where humans cannot go. On the surface, robotic rovers equipped with sophisticated sensor arrays traverse the ice, mapping the landscape, measuring snow depth, and monitoring subtle changes in the environment over time. Beneath the ice, autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, are the true pioneers. These torpedo-shaped robots are launched through narrow boreholes drilled into the ice, then set free to navigate the pitch-black, frigid waters below. Guided by onboard computers and a suite of sensors, AUVs glide silently through the subglacial world, mapping the seafloor with high-resolution sonar, capturing images with powerful cameras and collecting samples of water, sediment and even microbial life. These vehicles are equipped with environmental sensor packages that measure temperature, salinity, chemical composition and even the presence of trace gases, providing a detailed portrait of the hidden ecosystem. Once their missions are complete, AUVs return to the surface, where they transmit their findings wirelessly to relay stations and ultimately to scientists around the world. Complementing these robotic explorers is a vast network of remote sensors embedded deep within the ice and scattered across the continent. These instruments operate autonomously for months or even years, recording seismic activity, monitoring the movement of glaciers, and listening for the subtle sounds of shifting ice and distant marine life. Some sensors are designed to detect changes in the magnetic field, while others measure the flow of subglacial water or the concentration of nutrients in the ocean below. Above it all, satellites orbiting high above the Earth provide a global perspective. Using radar, infrared and optical sensors, these satellites monitor the shifting patterns of ice, track the movement of massive glaciers, and detect subtle changes in temperature and surface elevation. Satellite imagery allows scientists to observe the continent in real time, revealing the dynamic processes shaping Antarctica's hidden world and guiding the deployment of autonomous vehicles and sensors on the ground. The data collected by these diverse technologies is integrated into powerful computer models, creating detailed maps and simulations of the subglacial environment. This fusion of information, from the deepest waters to the highest orbit, enables scientists to visualize the hidden world beneath the ice as never before, uncovering its mysteries and revealing the intricate web of life and geology that exists in perpetual darkness. Thanks to these extraordinary tools, autonomous vehicles, remote sensors and satellite imagery, the once inaccessible world beneath Antarctica's ice is being transformed from a realm of speculation into a landscape of scientific discovery. Each new mission, each new stream of data brings us closer to understanding the secrets that have lain hidden for millennia, deep beneath the frozen surface of the southernmost continent. The data and images transmitted from the hidden depths beneath Antarctica's ice do more than simply satisfy curiosity. They serve as a window into a world that was, until recently, completely unknown. A world that is now transforming the very foundations of knowledge about Earth's history and the nature of life itself. Layers of ancient ice, preserved for millennia, reveal subtle shifts in atmospheric composition, temperature, and even volcanic activity. Each core, extracted from deep within the ice, contains a frozen archive of past climates, with tiny air bubbles and chemical traces acting as time capsules. Through careful analysis of these layers, patterns of glaciation, warming, and abrupt climate events emerge, painting a detailed portrait of Earth's climatic evolution. As new findings are revealed, established theories are challenged and new questions arise. The process of discovery is ongoing, with each revelation prompting further investigation into the mysteries locked beneath the ice. In the pitch-black waters of subglacial lakes, complex ecosystems thrive, completely isolated from sunlight and the open ocean. Here, life persists in a total darkness, relying on chemical energy sources rather than photosynthesis. Microbial communities flourish, forming intricate webs of interaction, and some organisms display adaptations never before seen. Enzymes that function at sub-zero temperatures, metabolic pathways fueled by minerals leached from the bedrock, and protective mechanisms against crushing pressure and extreme cold. These discoveries reveal that life is astonishingly resilient and adaptable, capable of colonizing environments once thought utterly inhospitable. The boundaries of habitability are redrawn, expanding the definition of where and how life can exist. Beneath the ice, vast networks of liquid water flow, connecting subglacial lakes and rivers in a hidden hydrological system. These waters interact with the overlying ice shelves, influencing their stability and movement. The dynamics of these flows are mapped using advanced imaging and remote sensing, revealing a complex interplay between water, ice, and the underlying geology. The subglacial waters are not isolated. They feed into the global ocean circulation system, known as the Great Ocean Conveyor Belt. This vast network of currents transports cold, dense water from Antarctica into the deep ocean, setting in motion a planetary system that redistributes heat, salt and nutrients across the globe. As Antarctic water sinks, it drives deep ocean currents that travel thousands of kilometers, influencing the movement of water masses and the cycling of essential elements. This process is a key regulator of Earth's climate, affecting everything from sea level to the distribution of marine life. The far-reaching effects of these currents are felt in distant regions, shaping weather patterns and climate in places as far away as Europe and North America. The transfer of heat and nutrients across continents is a direct result of the hidden processes unfolding beneath Antarctic ice. Incorporating data from these subglacial environments into climate models enhances the accuracy of predictions about future changes. The interplay between ice, water and atmosphere is simulated in high resolution, allowing for a deeper understanding of how the Antarctic system responds to and influences global climate shifts. On the seafloor beneath the ice, layers of sediment accumulate undisturbed for millions of years. These sediments act as a natural archive, preserving evidence of past climates, ocean chemistry and biological activity. Within these layers, tiny fossilized organisms and chemical signatures provide a continuous record of environmental change. Each stratum tells a story of ice ages, interglacial periods, and abrupt transitions, offering clues to the forces that have shaped the planet. By extracting and analyzing these sediment cores, a timeline of Earth's climate history is constructed, stretching back through epochs of dramatic transformation. The sequence of layers reveals not only the timing of past events, but also the mechanisms that drove them. The information contained within these cores illuminates the cycles of glaciation and warming, the advance and retreat of ice sheets, and the responses of the Antarctic environment to global climate forces. This deep time perspective is invaluable for understanding the rapid changes occurring today. By comparing present trends with ancient records, the trajectory of future climate shifts can be anticipated with greater confidence. The revelations from beneath Antarctica's ice extend beyond Earth, offering insights into the potential for life elsewhere in the universe. The existence of thriving microbial communities in isolated, dark and cold subglacial lakes provides a compelling analogue for environments on other worlds. The adaptations observed here, survival without sunlight, reliance on chemical energy and resilience to extreme conditions, mirror the hypothesized conditions on icy moons. Moons, such as Europa and Enceladus, are believed to harbour vast oceans beneath their frozen exteriors. The processes observed in Antarctica, liquid water beneath ice, chemical energy sources, and the persistence of life suggest that similar ecosystems could exist in these distant realms. The parallels between Antarctic subglacial ecosystems and the hypothesized environments of icy moons fuel the search for extraterrestrial life, expanding the horizons of astrobiology and planetary science. In this way, the exploration of Antarctica's hidden world serves as a rehearsal for future missions to the outer solar system, where the lessons learned beneath the ice may one day guide the search for life beyond Earth. For countless millennia, the immense ice shelves of Antarctica have stood as silent sentinels, shielding the mysterious world beneath from the harshness of the outside environment. These colossal formations, sculpted by time and the relentless cold, have maintained a delicate equilibrium, preserving a realm of extraordinary stability and isolation. Yet this ancient fortress is now under siege. The once impenetrable walls of ice are beginning to show signs of vulnerability, as subtle cracks and fissures spread across their surfaces and deep within their foundations. The world is warming at a pace never before witnessed in the history of the planet. Antarctica, long thought to be immune to such changes, is now feeling the full force of this transformation. The temperature of the air and the surrounding seas is rising, and the effects are rippling through the frozen continent. Deep beneath the ice shelves, warmer ocean currents now snake their way into hidden cavities, their gentle but persistent touch eroding the ice from below. This unseen assault is relentless, gradually eating away at the very foundations of the Antarctic fortress. The ice, once thick and unyielding, is thinning. Its structure weakens, becoming more susceptible to the forces of nature that have always threatened its existence but never before breached its defences so thoroughly. On the surface, the story is equally dramatic. As air temperatures climb, pools of meltwater form atop the ice, shimmering in the pale Antarctic sun. These ponds, though beautiful, are harbingers of change, signalling the breakdown of the ancient order. Meltwater seeps into cracks, widening them and hastening the fracturing of the ice. The process accelerates as each new fissure allows more water to penetrate, further destabilizing the once solid mass. The consequences of this melting are profound. The unique ecosystems that have flourished beneath the ice, adapted to the cold and darkness, now face an uncertain future. The intricate balance that has existed for thousands of years is being disrupted at an alarming rate. As the ice shelves weaken and fracture, their ability to restrain the vast glaciers behind them diminishes. The glaciers, no longer held in check, begin to surge forward, flowing ever more rapidly toward the sea. This increased movement of ice into the ocean is a powerful force contributing to the rising of sea levels across the globe. The slow, steady flow of ancient ice is now a torrent, reshaping coastlines far beyond the frozen continent. The rising seas, fed by the melting of Antarctic ice, threaten to inundate low-lying lands, altering the very geography of distant shores. The fate of the ice is intimately connected to the fate of the world's oceans. The dramatic collapse of major ice shelves such as the Larsen B in the early years of this century stands as a stark testament to the power of these changes. In a matter of weeks, a structure that had endured for thousands of years disintegrated, sending shockwaves through the scientific community. Each collapse is a warning, a signal that the stability of Antarctica is not guaranteed. The loss of these ice shelves is not a distant or isolated event, but a harbinger of further transformations yet to come. The disappearance of these magnificent structures reverberates across the planet. The interconnectedness of Earth's systems means that what happens in Antarctica does not stay in Antarctica. As the ice melts and seas rise, coastlines are reshaped and the boundaries between land and ocean are redrawn. The world's geography is being rewritten by the slow but inexorable retreat of the Antarctic ice. Beneath the ice, the changes are even more profound. The hidden life that has thrived in the cold, dark waters is now exposed to new conditions, new challenges, and new threats. The ecosystems here have evolved in isolation, perfectly attuned to the extreme cold and perpetual darkness. Their stability has depended on the constancy of their environment, a constancy now under threat. As warmer waters intrude and sunlight penetrates where it never has before, the balance is upset. New species may arrive, drawn by the changing conditions, and the established order may be overturned. The unique creatures of Antarctica, so finely adapted to their frozen world, may find themselves outcompeted by newcomers better suited to the altered environment. The struggle for survival intensifies as the rules of existence are rewritten. The intricate food web built over millennia faces the risk of unraveling. Each disruption sends ripples through the ecosystem, threatening the collapse of a world that has remained hidden and unchanged for so long. The loss of these unique biological communities would be a tragedy, erasing secrets and wonders before they can even be fully discovered or understood. The threat to Antarctica is immediate and undeniable. The changes underway are not distant possibilities, but present realities unfolding with increasing speed and intensity. The transformation of Antarctica is happening now. The pace of ice loss is accelerating, and the consequences are cascading through the environment. Each year, more ice vanishes, more water flows into the sea, and the ancient fortress grows weaker. The process is relentless, and its effects are felt far beyond the southernmost continent. The once mighty fortress of ice is crumbling, its defences breached by the warming world. The secrets it has guarded for so long are now exposed to forces they were never meant to withstand. The hidden garden beneath the ice, a sanctuary of life and mystery, is now vulnerable, its future uncertain. The fate of this world is bound to the stability of the ice. As the environment changes, so too does the destiny of all that depends on the cold and the dark for survival. The warming of the planet, the shifting of currents, and the transformation of the Antarctic landscape are all intertwined, each influencing the other in a complex dance of cause and effect. The stability of the coldest place on Earth is no longer assured. The changes underway are reshaping not only Antarctica, but the entire planet. The silent, slow-motion collapse of the Antarctic ice is a clear and unmistakable signal. The world is changing, and the consequences will be felt everywhere, in every ocean, on every shore. Antarctica, a vast expanse of ice and silence at the bottom of the world, stands as one of the planet's most powerful guardians. Its presence is not merely a geographical fact, but a force that shapes the very conditions of life across the globe. Far from being a remote and isolated wilderness, Antarctica is a keystone in the intricate balance of Earth's systems. The continent's immense ice sheet, stretching for millions of square kilometers, acts as the planet's most effective air conditioner. Its brilliant white surface reflects vast amounts of solar energy back into space, a phenomenon known as the albedo effect. This reflection is not a passive process, it is a dynamic shield, regulating the temperature of the entire planet and maintaining the delicate equilibrium that allows life to flourish. When the ice recedes, exposing the dark ocean beneath, the balance shifts. The ocean absorbs more heat, amplifying global warming in a relentless feedback loop. This process, once set in motion, accelerates the transformation of climate patterns, sending ripples of change across continents and oceans alike. Encircling Antarctica, the Southern Ocean is a vast, swirling engine of climate regulation. Its frigid waters act as a colossal carbon sink, drawing in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and locking it away in the deep. The cold, dense currents dissolve more carbon than any other oceanic region, quietly buffering the world against the relentless rise of greenhouse gases. Within these waters, microscopic life forms, plankton, play a vital role. Through their life cycles, they transport carbon to the ocean depths, where it remains sequestered for centuries. This natural process is a silent, ongoing service, moderating the pace of climate change and preserving the stability of the biosphere. Should the chemistry or circulation of these waters be disrupted, the consequences would echo across the globe. The Southern Ocean's ability to absorb carbon would diminish, and the intricate web of climate regulation would begin to unravel, threatening the balance that sustains countless forms of life. Antarctica's ice is more than frozen water. It is a vast archive of Earth's history. Trapped within its layers are bubbles of ancient air, preserving a record of atmospheric conditions stretching back nearly 1 million years. These icy archives reveal the story of greenhouse gases, charting the rise and fall of carbon dioxide and methane through the ages. The continent itself is a living laboratory, untouched and pristine. Its isolation has preserved unique ecosystems where life has adapted to the harshest conditions on Earth. From the resilient mosses and lichens clinging to rocky outcrops to the intricate communities beneath the ice, Antarctica is a sanctuary of biodiversity, harbouring secrets of survival and adaptation. The fate of Antarctica's ice is inseparable from the fate of the world's oceans. As glaciers melt, the water released flows into the sea, raising global sea levels and reshaping coastlines far beyond the polar circle. The pulse of the Southern Ocean influences weather patterns, driving currents and winds that shape climates on every continent. Antarctica's influence extends into the atmosphere, guiding the movement of jet streams and the formation of storms. Its icy breath cools the planet, while its shifting currents and winds orchestrate the rhythms of weather and climate across the globe. Antarctica is a guardian of planetary health, a regulator of climate, and a reservoir of knowledge written in ice and stone. Its existence is woven into the fabric of the Earth's systems, and its well-being is inseparable from the stability of the world itself. To witness the changes unfolding in Antarctica is to glimpse the future of the planet, a future shaped by the choices made in the present, and by the enduring power of this frozen continent at the edge of the world. Beneath the endless white expanse of Antarctica lies a world of profound beauty and delicate balance. This is a realm sculpted by ancient glaciers, where the silence is broken only by the distant crack of shifting ice and the haunting calls of wildlife that have adapted to survive in the harshest conditions on Earth. Here the wilderness is absolute, untouched by the noise and haste of civilization, and every snowflake, every gust of wind plays a part in a story millions of years in the making. The creatures that call this frozen continent home are testaments to nature's ingenuity. Emperor penguins huddle together for warmth against the biting cold, while beneath the ice, strange and wondrous life forms thrive in perpetual darkness. Each species, from the smallest krill to the majestic seals and soaring albatrosses, is a vital thread in the intricate web of Antarctic life. Their existence is a reminder of the resilience and interconnectedness of all living things. The Antarctic wilderness is not merely a place of ice and snow. It is a living system, a vast and dynamic engine that helps regulate the planet's climate. The ice sheets reflect sunlight, keeping the Earth cool, while the cold waters drive ocean currents that sustain life far beyond these frozen shores. The balance maintained here is delicate, and its disruption would echo across the globe. The glaciers and ice shelves of Antarctica are ancient sentinels, holding within them the memory of ages past. Their slow, patient movement shapes the land and nourishes the surrounding seas. When these icy giants melt, they release not only water, but also the stories of Earth's climate history written in layers of snow and ice. The loss of this ice is not just a change in landscape, it is a loss of knowledge, a vanishing record of our planet's natural rhythms. Antarctica's wilderness is a sanctuary for life, a place where the cycles of nature unfold in their purest form. The continent's isolation has allowed unique ecosystems to flourish, undisturbed by outside influences. Here, the balance between predator and prey, ice and ocean, is maintained by forces older and wiser than any single species. The story of Antarctica is a testament to the power and fragility of the natural world. It is a place where the boundaries between land, sea and sky blur, and where the forces of wind, water and ice shape the destiny of continents. The preservation of this wilderness is not just a matter of beauty or wonder, it is essential for the health of the entire planet. To protect Antarctica is to protect the foundation of Earth's climate system. The cold, dense waters that form around its coasts sink and flow northward, driving the great ocean currents that regulate temperatures and weather patterns across the globe. The ice itself acts as a shield, reflecting sunlight and helping to keep the planet in balance. The unique life that flourishes here is a living archive of evolution, a testament to the adaptability and creativity of nature. From the microscopic plankton that bloom beneath the ice to the great whales that migrate through frigid waters, every organism plays a role in sustaining the delicate equilibrium of this ecosystem. The knowledge held within Antarctica's ice and its living inhabitants is invaluable. It offers insights into the history of our planet, the workings of its climate, and the resilience of life itself. To lose this wilderness would be to lose a vital part of Earth's story. The melting of Antarctica's ice shelves is not an isolated event. It is a signal, a warning from the natural world that the balance is shifting. The consequences of this change will ripple outward, affecting weather, sea levels, and the very fabric of life on Earth. The preservation of Antarctica's wilderness is a responsibility owed not only to the creatures that dwell there, but to all life on Earth. The lessons written in its ice and the harmony of its ecosystems are gifts that must be cherished and safeguarded. To give a voice to Antarctica is to speak for the voiceless, to honor the silent endurance of its landscapes and the quiet persistence of its life forms. It is to recognize that the fate of this last wilderness is inseparable from the fate of the planet itself. The continued study and understanding of Antarctica's systems are essential. Each discovery deepens our appreciation for the complexity and interdependence of the natural world, and each insight brings us closer to understanding how to maintain the balance that sustains life. The data gathered from Antarctica's ice, air and waters is a vital resource for understanding the changes occurring across the globe. It is a living laboratory offering clues to the past and warnings for the future. The preservation of this wilderness is a cause that transcends borders and generations. It is a call to honor the interconnectedness of all life and to recognize the profound impact that the health of Antarctica has on the entire planet. The story of Antarctica is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the enduring power of nature. It is a reminder that even in the most remote and inhospitable places, life finds a way to flourish, and that these places are worthy of our deepest respect and protection. The wisdom of the natural world as embodied by Antarctica is a guide for all who seek to understand the delicate balance that sustains life. Its warnings are clear and its value beyond measure. The protection of Antarctica's wilderness is not just an act of conservation. It is an affirmation of the planet's right to exist in its natural state, free from harm and disruption. It is a commitment to the future of all life on Earth. The preservation of this last wilderness is a promise to the generations yet to come, a pledge that the wonders and mysteries of Antarctica will endure as a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring power of nature. Every effort to protect Antarctica is an act of reverence for the natural world, a recognition that the health of this remote continent is inseparable from the health of the planet as a whole. The fate of the hidden world beneath the ice is a reflection of the balance and harmony that sustains all life. It is a mirror held up to the world, showing the beauty and fragility of nature's design. Let us honor this fragile Eden, safeguarding the last wilderness, and in doing so, preserve the future of the living world. Deep within Antarctica's vast frozen heart lies an archive older than memory itself. Layer upon layer, the ice has captured the passage of time, preserving the whispers of ancient eras. Each snowfall, compacted and buried by centuries, becomes a page in a story that stretches back nearly 1,000,000 years. Within these frozen layers are tiny bubbles, minute capsules of ancient air sealed away, untouched by the world above. Trapped within them are records of past atmospheres, the composition of gases, the rise and fall of carbon dioxide, the subtle shifts in temperature. With every layer, the ice chronicles the cycles of ice ages and warm periods, the ebb and flow of Earth's climate. Silent and unyielding, the Antarctic ice sheet guards the secrets of vanished worlds. Dust from distant deserts, traces of ancient volcanic eruptions, even hints of cosmic events, all are preserved in this crystalline time capsule. These clues reveal a planet in flux, shaped by forces both gentle and cataclysmic. As the ice archive endures, it continues to write the ongoing story of Earth's climate, holding within its depths the lessons of resilience, adaptation, and change. In this realm of perpetual cold, the ancient ice bears silent witness to the unfolding saga of life on our planet, a story still being written layer by layer beneath the endless Antarctic sky. In the endless polar night, a celestial ballet unfolds across the Antarctic sky. Curtains of green, violet and crimson ripple and swirl in silence. This is the aurora australis, the southern lights. Though the land below lies shrouded in darkness, the sky above comes alive with colour and motion, painting the ice in ethereal hues. The beauty of this phenomenon is matched only by its mystery. Far above, charged particles from the sun race toward Earth, guided by invisible magnetic fields. As they collide with molecules in the upper atmosphere, energy is released in shimmering waves of light. Oxygen glows emerald and red. Nitrogen blushes purple and blue. Each display is a fleeting masterpiece, shaped by the ever-changing winds of space. The aurora is more than a spectacle. It is a silent messenger from the cosmos, a sign of the planet's magnetic shield at work. Its glow subtly influences the Antarctic environment, affecting animal navigation and even the chemistry of the atmosphere. In this realm of extremes, the dance of polar lights is a reminder of the unseen connections between Earth and the universe beyond. Beneath the glowing canopy, the ancient ice and the endless sky merge in a moment of wonder, an unspoken testament to the beauty, power and mystery of the frozen continent. In Antarctica, silence is not emptiness, it is a presence all its own. Here, sound travels with a clarity found nowhere else on Earth. The continent's vast white expanse is punctuated by the creak and groan of shifting glaciers, the thunderous roar of icebergs carving into the sea, and the distant crackle of wind sculpting snow into frozen waves. Yet between these moments a profound stillness settles. It is a silence so deep it seems to press against the senses. A hush broken only by the plaintive calls of emperor penguins echoing across the ice, or the haunting song of a distant Weddell seal beneath the frozen sea. Above, petrels wheel in the frigid air, their wings slicing through the quiet with a barely audible whisper. Beneath the surface, the subtle clicks and whistles of underwater life hint at hidden worlds below. In this untouched wilderness, sound becomes a rare and precious thing, a fleeting visitor in a land ruled by quiet. The Antarctic soundscape is a reminder that in the absence of human noise, nature's voice emerges, sometimes fierce, sometimes gentle, always profoundly alive. Beneath the icy surface and within the frozen soils of Antarctica, an invisible world thrives, one that is teeming with life too small to see. Microbes, ancient and resilient, have mastered the art of survival in conditions that would extinguish most forms of life. Some dwell in salty brine sealed within ice, while others cluster near volcanic vents, drawing energy from minerals in the darkness. These microbial marvels possess extraordinary adaptations, antifreeze proteins that prevent their cells from freezing, unique enzymes that allow them to metabolize in sub-zero temperatures, and protective shells to shield them from harsh ultraviolet rays. In the heart of glaciers and deep within the permafrost, they form complex communities, shaping the Antarctic ecosystem from the ground up. Despite their size, these microscopic organisms play a vital role. They recycle nutrients, support the food web, and even influence the planet's climate by absorbing or releasing greenhouse gases. In a land where survival seems impossible, microbes remind us that life finds a way, even in the coldest, most remote corners of our world. Far below Antarctica's frozen surface lies a secret world, an immense network of subglacial lakes and hidden oceans locked away from sunlight for millions of years. These vast bodies of water, sealed beneath sheets of ice kilometers thick, are among the most isolated environments on Earth. Here in the perpetual darkness, unique ecosystems persist, untouched by the outside world. In these hidden depths, life has adapted in extraordinary ways. Microbial communities thrive, feeding on minerals and chemical energy instead of sunlight. Some lakes are as large as entire cities, their waters kept liquid by the gentle warmth of Earth's interior. Each discovery from these enigmatic realms holds clues to the resilience of life, not just on our planet, but potentially on icy worlds elsewhere in the solar system. Every drop of water beneath the Antarctic ice is a time capsule, preserving ancient secrets and raising profound questions about the limits of life. As we peer into these shadowy oceans, we glimpse the mysteries that lie beneath, and the possibilities that await beyond our world.